Hello, welcome back to the Worst Possible Commander Show. It's me, it's CGB, and I'm here with my friends, Shea.
Hello.
And Blake.
Hiya.
And Ben.
Hello.
And we are sponsored by CoolStuffInc.com. Use the promo code WORST to get a discount at CoolStuffInc.com and show your support for the show. Today, we are doing a theme battle that's all about OMNATH. OMNATH. Shout out to the Arena Craft podcast listeners who might remember that gag. So, we are all playing an OMNATH commander, and we're going to see who's the most OMNAThy jelly bean of them all. So, I will be playing the 5-color OMNATH, Locus of All. My deck has a theme of having 3 or more colors in the casting cost of several of my spells, and the worst possible thing I can do to my friends probably involves a little card called Threefold Signal. This is a mostly unknown artifact for 3 mana that says, when it enters the battlefield, I scry 3, and each spell you cast that's exactly 3 colors has Replicate 3. Which means it copies itself 3 times. Using something like that, along with all the mana I can stow away with OMNATH's ability to turn unspent mana into black mana, I could probably cast a Villainous Wealth targeting all of you a bunch of times.
Oh, jeez.
I don't like it.
That's gross.
And I might just play your whole decks.
No.
So that's about as bad as it gets.
Oh, just that.
Bad CGB.
Just that.
Nah, that's it.
Common CGB stuff. I'm curious what Shea is playing and what the worst possible thing you can do to us is.
Yeah, so today my OMNATH is OMNATH Locus of the Royal. So he's a 3/3. When OMNATH Locus of the Royal enters the battlefield, it deals damage to any target equal to the number of elementals you control. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on target elemental you control. If you control 8 or more lands, draw a card. So of course, the deck is all about elemental synergy and trying to get a lot of elementals onto the battlefield. So the worst possible version of that is with Zendikar's Royal, which puts a 2/2 green elemental creature token onto the battlefield whenever a land enters the battlefield. Combine that with Risen Reef, which triggers when another elemental enters the battlefield. I get to look at the top card. If it's a land, it goes to the battlefield. Now we're back to Zendikar's Royal, and around we go, and we make a bunch of elementals. It's going to be beautiful.
So yours is more of a full elemental creature type theme deck.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
Nice.
All right. I know that there's somebody here who's not playing an elemental theme deck, more of maybe a land strategy?
I'm playing lands, yeah. I'm playing OMNATH Locus of Rage. So this is a 7-mana 5/5 with landfall. When land enters the battlefield under your control, make a 5/5 red and green elemental creature token. And when OMNATH Locus of Rage or another elemental you control dies, it deals 3 damage to any target. So one of the combos I've been wanting to try, and I'm looking forward to, is Crucible of Worlds plus Nahiri's Lithoforming. So Nahiri's Lithoforming lets me sacrifice X lands to draw X cards, and I may play X additional lands this turn. So the plan would be to, with OMNATH and the Crucible of Worlds out, if I cast Nahiri's Lithoforming for, let's say, 10, I sack 10 lands, draw 10 cards, and then I can play the 10 lands out of my graveyard to get 10 elementals to kill you guys. But almost more important than that, I got Valakut Exploration.
Land stuff. It's land stuff.
I'm home.
He just loves land stuff.
It's just so fun.
Ben, what's your worst possible?
My OMNATH is Locust of Mana, the OG original. I guess that's what that means. It's a 1/1 elemental, of course. You don't lose unspent green mana as steps and phases end. Oh, that's fun. That's kind of similar to...
Yeah. Except mine's black mana. Yeah.
You're the good guy.
Right, of course. And he gets 1/1/1 for each unspent green mana I have. Whoa, that's cool. So he can be pretty big. I have a lot of cards that untap all my mana, so I can just re-tap it, either at upkeep, end step, or when it attacks, does combat damage. I have quite a lot of those. But my worst possible is one of Shea's specials. It's Craterhoof and Triumph of the Hordes.
Yeah.
Because Blake has failed multiple times to kill her with it.
Bro, I'm just sitting here.
He's passed it on to me to do his dirty work for him. So, yeah.
What?
There's only one true wielder of the Triumph of the Hordes
Yeah.
and the creator of Behemoth.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can try then.
Yeah.
You can try.
Hopefully I succeed better than Blake has. But
Why am I getting brought into this?
If you guys are wondering what happened to 4-color Omnath, Locus of Creation, he got banned. So he's not here. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's away. And we only had 4 players. All right. Let's see who the Omnathiest, Jelly Cup Mana thing is. Let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. All right, we've got our hands, and Ben, you won the die roll. Take it away.
draw for turn. I'll play a forest, and I'll tap that forest for an interesting elf, Weatherseed Elf. I can tap him and give target creature Forest Walk until end of turn.
Hey, we're all playing green.
What's up? Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's like some
isn't that
insider
convenient?
trading right
Yeah.
there.
It's like you knew the theme of the
Yeah.
episode.
To be honest, I actually found it like shortly before I finished making my deck. I didn't even know I owned this card. In my defense. And I saw it, I'm like, oh, that'd be perfect.
All right, threat assessment. We kill Ben
Yep,
first.
immediately.
Your turn, CGB.
I will draw, and I will play a Bayou, which is a forest, and I will glare at Ben and pass the turn.
Wow. I will draw. I'm going to play a Steam Vents tapped and pass.
That's crazy. I'm gonna draw a turn for a card. I'm gonna play a.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't know, dude. I blacked out. That was rough. I'm going to crack a Wooded Foothills. I'm going to get a Cinderglade and pass the turn.
Is that a forest?
It is also a mountain.
Nice. On tap for turn, draw. Play a forest for turn. Tap 2 for an Explorer. Play additional land this turn, draw a card.
All my friends are playing lands cards. Yay!
This is your dream pod.
This is so great. I
I'll
love you
play
guys.
the Dryad Arbor as my second land drop.
Right
because
on.
of Explorer. And I'll attack Blake for 1.
Can I get my Cinderglade first?
Yeah, sure. That's fine. It's okay, he doesn't need the forest walk yet. I don't know why, but
So I lied to everybody about my Cinderglade.
Uh-huh.
I got a mountain.
Yeah. I'm going to play a Reflecting Pool as my land for turn. Makes a mana of any color that another land could produce. I'll tap this for green and play a Noble Hierarch. It taps for Bant colors. It's an 0/1 with Exalted. I'm done.
I'll untap, draw, play a forest. I'm going to tap 2 for Nature's Lore. And go grab a forest card. Okay, I grabbed a Ketria Triome.
And that enters the battlefield tapped. I know it's in another language.
This is true. Yes, thank you, thank you.
You
And
can
then
speak that language, CGB? That's crazy.
Wow.
I speak Magic the Gathering.
Your go, Blake.
All right, I will untap, I will upkeep and draw. I will play a beautiful forest, and we're gonna Farseek for a Stomping Ground, which I do know is in my deck. And then it'll be your turn, Benny boy.
okay, untap. Draw for a turn. Here comes the first Omnath. He's out.
The first Omnath resolving first. You love to see it.
I'll play this forest. Your turn, CGB.
Okay. I'll untap the Bayou, draw for turn. I will play this mountain, and I will cast a Nature's Lore. I'm going to search my library for something that taps for green and enters untapped. Then I'm going to tap that and these two, and I'm going to cast Cultivate, and I'm going to go get 2 basics. So I'm going to shortcut all that really quick. And one goes untapped, one goes into hand, so I'm tapped out, and it will be Shea's turn if you want to go. I can update you later on my findings.
Perfect, thanks. Untap, draw. We're gonna play a Rejuvenating Springs, which does not enter tapped. Then I'm gonna pay 3 for a Living Twister. What, Blake? You look scared.
It's a twister that's alive. We're allowed to be scared.
Have you
Yeah,
not watched
right?
Sharknado? Like, this is spooky.
This is like land NATO.
Nice.
It's a Wizard of Oz.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, that's all the things. I'll pass to you.
I'm just going to update really quick. I fetched a Savannah with the Nature's Lore, and Cultivate put an island in tapped and a Plains into hand.
All right. I will untap, upkeep, and draw. I'm gonna play another forest.
Nice.
I'm gonna spend 4 for Mina and Den Wildborn. This is 4 mana, 4/4. I can play an additional land on each of my turns, and I can pay 2 to return a land to my hand to give a creature trample. I will play a mountain. Pass the turn.
Here, end step, I'll tap this forest to float it. So this is my floating green mana die.
Okay, so the way this works is the unspent mana just kind of hangs out, and this has +1/+1 for your unspent.
Yes.
Okay. All right, do the thing.
Now I'll go to my turn, untap, draw for turn. I'll tap 3 for a Cultivate. I'll get 2 forests. Okay, I got 2 forests. I'll put 1 on the battlefield tapped and the other one in my hand. I'm gonna tap this forest to unspent.
Yeah.
Just put it in my floating pool.
Just float a green.
Yeah, that.
You have
well-
a floating pool.
Yeah, I'll attack CGB for 3.
For 3 commander?
3 commander. yes.
Yeah, you got it. I'll take 3 and go to 37 and get 3 commander damage.
Your turn.
All right, untap. Draw. I'll play a Plains, and I will tap 4 different colors except for black, where I'm going to pay 2 life, and I'm going to cast my commander, Omnath, Locus of All.
Ooh.
And then I will pass the turn to Shea.
All right, untap, draw. I'm gonna play Rockfall Vale. Does not enter tapped. Gonna pay 3 for an Incandescent Soul Stoke.
What?
Yeah, it's a 2/2. Other elemental creatures you control get +1/+1. And then it has a pay 2 and tap. You may put an elemental creature card from your hand into play. That creature gains haste until end of turn. Sacrifice it at the end of turn. Great. Then I'm also going to pay a red and a green for Creeping Trailblazer.
Oh my goodness.
It's a 2/2. Other elementals you control get +1/+0, and then it has a pay 4. Creeping Trailblazer gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each elemental you control. I'll pass to you, Blake.
All right. I'll untap. I'm going to play 1 land. I'll immediately follow that up with another land.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Crazy. All right. I'm going to spend 3. And Shea, will you do the Spider-Man meme with me? Living Twister.
Oh, man.
And then I'm going to spend 4 for Harbonize. So I'm just going to draw 3 cards.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
cool.
That's a good one.
All right. I'm going to move to combat.
Are you actually going to attack someone?
No. But maybe. Ben,
What's up?
I'm telling you for 4.
Okay.
And I'll pass the turn to you, dude.
All right. I'll go to my turn, untap. Tap 5 for a Nissa who shakes the world.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a fun planeswalker.
That can make a lot of mana, too. Oh, this is bad.
Sheesh.
I'm gonna plus Nissa to 6, untap a land, make it a 3/3. Vigilance and haste.
Scary.
Tap my newly made creature in my other land for 4 mana. And with 3 of those, I'll play a Life Crafter's Bestiary. At the beginning of my upkeep, I can scry 1, and whenever I cast a creature spell, I may pay 1 force, and if I do, draw a card.
You called it the Bestiary?
Bestiary. I always used to think it was, geez, I'm really good at reading.
That's all right, dude.
guys.
Also, good news, you actually have 1 more green mana in your mana pool.
I know, I do.
That's
and
so sick.
That's going to go up to 3 there.
It's so sick, you shouldn't attack me.
You know, it's so sick, Blake,
Yeah.
that I don't care about being defended. So I'm going to give it Forest Walk and
Bruh.
attack you for 4, Commander.
Bruh.
Wow.
I got forests.
I mean,
Oh, I do have a Nissa, though.
I really like leaving the Nissa undefended.
Yeah, me too.
This makes me feel better.
I just wanted 1 creature, I guess.
All right. I took 4 commander. I hope your
I'll
Nissa
do it.
was worth it.
Your turn, CGB.
Okay, I've got an end step effect. I'm going to cast Esper Charm, and I'm going to draw 2 cards. Yay for 3 color spells. All right, go to my turn. We'll untap and draw. And now I'm going to trigger OMNATH, Locus of All. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card if it has 3 or more colored mana symbols in its mana cost. I'm gonna reveal it!
Oh,
man.
I am revealing Riveteer's Charm. So if you do, add 3 mana in any combination of its colors and put it into your hand. If you don't reveal it, put it into your hand. So I get 3 mana, and it can be like spread out however I want to among black, red, and green. I'm going to make green mana. So I'm gonna put 3 green mana in my mana pool.
Are you going to donate that to me?
No!
Oh, okay.
I'm not at all. I'm going to use it, and I'm going to cast a card known as Seedborn Muse.
Oh.
Which might be good with my commander. We'll see.
Yeah, just a little bit.
might.
I'm going to cast another spell, too. I'm going to cast Whirlwind of Thought. This says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, draw a card. I'm going to play a land for turn. It will be this Badlands. And I'm going to go to combat, and I'm going to attack with OMNATH, Locus of All. I'm going to attack Nissa, who shakes the world. There's going to be an Exalted trigger, so this is a 5-point attack.
Yeah, that's my fault. Band down to 1.
I think someone will take the opportunity to finish it off, at least I hope so. I am going to move to my end step, and I'm going to tap this Badlands for black mana and this Noble Hierarch, and then I'm going to pass the turn to Shea. So this will put 2 black mana in the mana pool for OMNATH.
Okay.
So Shea, you untap. I'm going to untap with you
Yeah.
because of Seedborn Muse.
Yeah. Okay, untap, draw. I am going to attack Nissa with my Incandescent Soulstoke. And then I'm going to attack CGB with my Living Twister. 4/6.
A 4/6?
Yes.
Okay. Then I shall have to respond, Shea. I have a play. I'm going to tap for white and red and use 1 of the black mana in my mana pool to cast Crackling Doom. This deals 2 damage to each opponent, and each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player controls.
You're the worst.
This also triggers Whirlwind of Thought, so I draw a card if nobody has a response.
No.
So that triggers on the stack. Shea, any response?
I'm thinking I actually do want to respond with the Living Twister's ability. To pay 2 and discard a land card to deal 2 damage to any target. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to discard Yavimaya Coast. And 2 damage is going to go, what do we think, the Noble Hierarch or CGB's face? But I guess if I can do it twice, I should, to take out the Seedborn Muse.
That's really powerful.
Guys, I think I can take care of the Seedborn Muse.
Okay.
Be nice to me.
I'll be nice.
For my sacrifice,
In
please.
game 2. Yep.
That is very gross.
I'll be nice. Yes.
Okay.
There's a problem.
Very honorable for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, okay, so I'm doing it once. I'm going to target the Seedborn Muse with 2 damage.
All right, takes 2.
And then I would also like to do it again. So I'll pay 2, discard a forest to use the same ability on Living Twister, targeting the Seedborn Muse.
Yep, with that on the stack, we're going to cast the Riveteer's Charm that you guys know about, creating another draw trigger for Whirlwind of Thought. And I'm going to choose the mode to exile the top 3 cards of my library until my next end step. I may play those cards. So any response to the draw card trigger?
No.
Okay, that will resolve. Now I will exile my top 3 until my next end step I can play them. Mantis Rider, Fabled Passage, Esper Sentinel. All right, those are just gonna hang out in special Riveteer's Charm exile land. So there's still a 2 damage to Seedborn Muse on the stack, and I will cast Teferi's Protection and trigger Whirlwind of Thought. Then Teferi's Protection will resolve. All my permanents will phase out. My life total can't change. I gain protection from everything. Exile the protection. Then the draw trigger from Whirlwind of Thought will resolve for the Crackling Doom. Then Crackling Doom will resolve. Each of you will take 2 damage, and each of you will sacrifice the creature that has the highest power.
You got it. Goodbye, Living Twister.
All right, and I gone, but you are still in combat with a incandescent soul stoke attacking Nissa, who shakes the world.
Yes.
Which will die.
Do I lose this mana now? Because I don't control Omnath right now.
Oh, you don't? Oh. Right, because he's phased
Yeah, you
out.
probably would, right?
Okay, I'm going to lose my floating 1 black mana
Yeah.
because I don't control Omnath Locus of All right now. It's phased out.
Okay, that was a heck of a combat. That's all I got. It's your turn, Blake.
Good try, Shea.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm can spend 7 mana for Omnath, Locus of Anger, Rage.
I would counter that, but I don't have any lands at the moment. They're phased out.
Thanks, Shea. I will play a Prismatic Vista,
Oh, no.
which should make a 5/5 Ellie Mantle. And then I'm going to sack Prismatic Vista.
Yep,
Yep.
it's happening.
So that costs me 1 life to do, and then this entering the battlefield makes me another 5/5. Then I will move to combat. Shea, I'm not going to attack you. You're a hero.
Thanks.
Attack me.
Hey, wait.
I can technically attack you.
Yes,
it just
you
doesn't
can.
do anything.
Yeah.
So I will attack. God, I really do want to do it out of spite, but I'm going to attack Ben for 2
Okay,
out of friendship,
sure. I don't know what that means.
and then I'll pass the turn.
Okay. I'll untap. And my upkeep, I get to scry 1. Just because I'm awesome. Yeah, I'll keep that on top. Go to my draw step, draw that card. I stayed on top. I'll tap 5 using Castle Garenbrig's ability for 6. And I'll cast my commander.
Nice.
So
All right.
I still have 1 floating.
Well, would you like to use it on the... I guess you can't use it on the bestiary
I
because it's
can't.
not a creature. Yeah. But it is green mana in the mana pool.
I will tap the Dryad Arbor to draw a card, though, from that. I'll just pass it to you, CGB.
Okay, fun. I'm back. Guys, I'm here.
Welcome.
It was very peaceful for a time.
And then it got weird. All right, untap, upkeep, draw, trigger Omnath. Let's have a peek. Let's put it back sadly, and then into my hand, actually. All right, I'm going to play the Fabled Passage from Exile from the Riveteer's Charm. I'm going to tap a white. I'm going to cast the Esper Sentinel from Exile. I'm going to tap 4, red, green, blue, and just 1. And I'm going to cast Shea's commander, Omnath, Locus of the Royal.
You've cast 2 Omnaths before Shea cast your commander. That's so mean.
I have. When it enters the battlefield, I deal damage to any target equal to the number of elementals I control. I'm probably going to be arch enemy no matter what. I'm still most scared of Blake. So I'm actually going to target Blake's face for 2 damage.
Fair enough.
I'm going to sacrifice the Fabled Passage and search my library for a basic land. It's going to enter and then I untap it. I'll go get this forest. When this enters the battlefield, it will trigger Omnath, Locus of the Royal, which will get a +1/+1 counter, and I'll draw a card because it's my 8th land. Shea, your commander is sweet.
Oh. He's going down now.
Brutal.
Red, white, blue. I will tap these to cast the Mantis Rider from Exile from the Riveteer's Charm. So I actually got to play all of the Riveteer's Charm cards. Feels good, man.
Wow.
And I am going to attack Blake in the air with Mantis Rider, and it's going to get an Exalted trigger from Noble Hierarch, so 4 points in the air.
Sounds good to me, dude.
I'm going to move to my end step. In my end step, I'm going to tap the green and add it to my mana pool, planning to convert it with Omnath, and I'm going to pass to Shea.
All right. Untap.
I will untap with you.
Draw. I will begin by...
Just so you know, Shea, before you start, I'm
yes.
going to try to Living Twister the Seaborn Muse. You gave your life for the cause, so I will try.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate your contribution.
No problem, dude.
Okay. Paying 2 for a Smoke Braider.
That's fine. I have
What
seen.
does that do?
I can tap it to add 2 mana and any combination of colors to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast elemental spells or activate abilities on elementals.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just a 1/1. I'm gonna be super chill and cool and just pass to Blake.
Cool.
Whoa.
All right.
On her end step, I'm going to float 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Oh
6,
my
7,
God.
8, 9 mana and turn it into black mana. But that's all I'm doing with it. It's exciting!
And it is pretty cool. I'm not
I'm
gonna lie.
excited to
It
do
is
it.
pretty cool. All right.
Begrudgingly, it's cool.
No, it is sick. I will go to my turn in CGB.
Yeah, I'm going to untap with you.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Draw for turn. We'll start with a mountain.
Which one is it?
Pump fake.
Mountain.
It is a mountain.
Okay.
At the end of by the time it resolves, which will make another one of these. But this one's going to be kind of summoning tuckered out and whatnot. So I'll make a token in a second
Can I
here.
make it?
Please, Ben. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Please, dude. Thank you, Ben. I think it's beautiful.
You see how his head's a little down because he's summoning sick?
I don't know what part is what, but
Okay.
I love it. All right. I will now cast a spell.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep. So you guys know. All right, I'm going to tap 5 mana, and I'm going to cast Return of the Wild Speaker, and I'm going to choose the first mode. Draw cards equal to the highest power among 9 humans, which is 5.
Okay. Do you pay for the Esper Sentinel?
No.
Okay,
Whoa.
then I will draw a card and proceed.
All right, I drew 5 cards here. Okay. I did tell Shea I would. So I will honor the deal. I will discard a Mountain to Living Twister to do 2 damage to your dude.
Seedborn Muse.
Seedborn Muse, yep.
Okay, takes 2.
And then I'm going to do it again.
Okay, Seedborn Muse dies.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. I will move to combat. I'm going to send 1 token to you, CGB, and 1 to Ben.
All right, so there's a 5/5 attacking me and a 5/5 attacking Ben.
Yes. If they die, I do 3 damage to any target.
Yep. Ben, any blocks?
I will not block.
I will block with Noble Hierarch. I will float 1 mana with it before it goes.
Sure thing.
All right, Noble Hierarch dies. Ben, you take 5.
Yep. 1 down to 27.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and pass to the end of my turn.
Right. At your end step, I'll tap my forest here to float another mana. Upkeep, I'll scry 1. Yeah, I'll keep that on top. I'll draw it. I'll use the 1 floating that was specifically for creatures.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'll cast this Finhorn Elf. I will pay 1 to draw a card because that's me casting creature spell.
I love that you left 1 in the mana pool, though, anyway.
Yeah. I'm going to float the other 6 of my mana.
Okay. So there's 7 in the mana pool.
Yes.
So Omnath is an 8/8.
8/8.
That's a big one.
I'm going to go to combat. Before attacks, though, I'm going to tap my Weatherseed Elf to give Omnath Forest Storm.
I knew I should have killed that thing.
Yeah, he's a little stinker. And I'm going to swing at CGB for 8 Forest Walk.
Yeah, and 8 commander. I have to take it. So I will go down to 27.
Okay, in my second main phase, I'll use that 7 mana to play Zopantral, the dude that doubles power and toughness at each combat of all my creatures.
Oh, God.
And I can sack 2 creatures to give an indestructible counter.
Oh, man. Am I just going to die next turn?
Possibly.
Thanks, Ben.
But it's your turn right now, CGB.
All right, cool. Let's float some mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more mana, bringing me up to 19 black mana in the mana pool.
Bruh.
Go to my turn. All right, I'm going to draw for turn, and then we're going to trigger Omnath Locus of All. Peek at the card. Reveal it. It's a Sultai Ascendancy. So this is going to let me make 3 mana in some combination of colors. Sultai Ascendancy says, at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put any number of them into your graveyard, and the rest back on top of your library in any order.
It's like Surveil 2, pretty much.
Yeah. So I'm going to choose to make 3 blue mana with Sultai Ascendancy there. I have changed my mind. I'm going to make 3 green mana with Sultai Ascendancy there.
Fair enough.
Let's play a Windswept Heath. This will put a counter on Locus of the Royal, and I will draw a card. Actually, it can be target elemental, can't
Yeah, it can be any elemental.
Let's put it on my commander and draw a card.
Spicy.
Then I'm going to sacrifice Windswept Heath, and I'm going to search my library for a forest or a plains. I've fetched a tropical island that will enter the battlefield, so it'll trigger Omnath Locus of the Royal, put a counter on Locus of All, draw a card.
Ben, I'm scared. Will you hold me?
What?
Ben, he's scary. Okay.
You scared of
scaring me.
CGB?
Yes.
If he doesn't do anything about me, I can kill him this one.
Oh, Ben.
Oh, I guess
Ben,
you've got a plan
have
for that already.
you never played in CGB, dude?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
I'm going to tap for a red, I'm going to tap for a blue, and I'm going to use one of the green in the mana pool. Then I'm going to use 5 black mana, and I'm going to cast Maelstrom Wanderer. Creatures you control have phase, Cascade, Cascade, 7/5.
Love it, but hate to see it.
I do love CGB cascading.
I've never played this
He's
card.
welcome. Welcome.
You guys have done this to me so many times.
Yeah, fair,
Let's
fair.
go, CGB
All
cascade.
right. Cascade number 1. Is this how it's supposed to go?
No, but I love it.
I choose not to cast it and it goes to the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That sucked. Thank you. Second Cascade. Turn Timber Symbiosis.
Is that less?
Yeah, it's a one less.
Because it's 8, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So this is, look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. If that creature has mana cost 3 or less, it gets 3+1/+1 counters. Rest on the bottom. That triggers Whirlwind of Thought, first and foremost.
Yes.
So I draw a card from casting it, and I will now... Oh, I didn't draw a card from the Fierce Guardianship because there was no target to cast it on, so it wasn't an option to just draw a card, or I would have. All right, I'm going to look at my top 7, and we'll see if I have a creature. I will put these cards on the bottom of my library.
Wow.
This Maelstrom Wanderer Cascade stuff is garbage, you guys.
Dude, that's actually heartbreaking.
Oh, don't feel too bad for me.
I don't. It stopped immediately.
Don't feel too bad because I drew a certain card off of the. I drew a certain card off the trigger for it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to spend the green. I'm going to spend 4 of the black. And then I need a white and I need a blue. And then I will cast Atraxa, Grand Unifier.
Whoa, okay. Jeez.
7/7 Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink. Reveal the top 10, put one of all the types into my hand. So let's see how this goes. We got Endless Detour, Polluted Delta, Time Wipe, An Offer You Can't Refuse, Thrasios, Guided Passage, Sylvan Library, Scalding Tarn, Widespread Thieving, and Derevi, Imperial Tactician. All right, I have chosen Time Wipe, Derevi, Widespread Thieving, Scalding Tarn, and Offer You Can't Refuse to go to my hand. The rest will go to the bottom in a random order. I will spend 2 of the black in the mana pool, going down to 8, and a red. I'm going to cast Widespread Thieving. This is a hideaway 5. When you cast a multicolored spell, create a treasure token. Then you may pay Wooburg. If you do, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. This is a draw trigger for Whirlwind of Thought. All right, blue, green from the mana pool, last one. 7 black. Risen Reef.
Oh, what?
Okay.
Yeah. That is going to trigger Widespread Thieving to make a treasure. And when this enters the battlefield or another elemental, I'm going to look at the top card. If it's a land, it goes onto the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, it goes into my hand.
Dude, if you play a Zendikar Royal and just completely steal Shea's words possible.
Goes into my hand, goes into my hand.
That'd be so funny.
All right, I'm going to sack this for a blue, a green, and a white. And I'm going to cast Derevi, Imperial Tactician. When it enters the battlefield, I get a treasure from Widespread Thieving. And whenever it enters the battlefield or A creature you control deals combat damage to a player. I may tap or untap target permanent. So I'm going to use this to untap my Reflecting Pool. I'm going to use 3 of the black mana going down to 4. I'm going to tap this for a red. I'm going to cast a Moonveil Regent. Whenever I cast a spell, I may discard my hand and draw a card for each of that spell's colors. When it dies, it deals X damage to any target, where X is the number of colors among permanents I control. I'm going to go down to 3 black in the mana pool to play Bloom Tender. That does tap for Wooburg right now because it has haste because of the Maelstrom Wanderer.
Right.
Wow.
I'm going to tap it for Wooburg to cast Invasion of Alara. I'm going to choose Blake to defend Invasion of Alara, but first I got to read it. So when this enters the battlefield, I exile cards from the top of my library until I exile 2 non-land cards with mana value 4 or less. You may cast one of those without paying the cost, put the other one into the hand. And then when it transforms, it does a lot of things. So this is going to do a few things. It's going to create a treasure, and it is going to trigger Whirlwind of Thought.
Nice.
Then I am going to have Blake defend it.
My sacred duty.
You haven't even done combat yet, have you?
All right, we have to do the cascading.
Yep.
So cascade until I hit 2.
4 or less.
2 with 4 or less.
Non-land. Exile 2 non-land cards with I'll just turn around for you.
Okay, so start exiling till 2 non-land cards, mana value 4 or less. Void Rend, Naya Charm. So I will choose to put Void Rend into my hand, and I will cast Naya Charm. This is going to make me draw a card and create a treasure because of Whirlwind of Thought. And Naya Charm is going to target the Seedborn Muse and return it to my hand. Let's move to combat.
Yay!
Yay! All right. We'll send Atraxa Grand Unifier at Invasion of Alara. We will send Derevi Moonveil Regent and Mantis Rider at Blake's face. We will send the Maelstrom Wanderer at Shea.
Yeah, I have no blocks, so no flying.
I'm gonna say no blocks.
Crazy.
Okay, so Shea, you will take 7.
Go down to 31.
Blake, you will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. The Atraxa Grand Unifier is going to deal 7 to the Invasion of Alara, and I will gain 7, going up to 33. This will transform the battle. There are also Derevi triggers on the stack. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Each of those triggers is going to target the Bloom Tender.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cast Awaken the Maelstrom. This is a sorcery, so it's going to trigger Whirlwind of Thought. It's also going to trigger Widespread Thieving. I am going to draw 2 cards. Then I may put an artifact from my hand onto the battlefield. I'll just resolve it one by one because that's the order it goes in here. All right, let's see if there's an artifact here. I do not have an artifact. Create a token that's a copy of a permanent you control. Oh God. Oh God.
Bloom Tender.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah. Distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among 3 creatures I control.
Is this still the sorcery?
It's still,
for
yes,
Flipping?
this is still the same
Bro.
spell. I'm going to put 3 counters on Esper Sentinel. I'm going to put 3 counters on Omnath, Locus of the Royal, and 3 counters on my commander.
Wait, is 3 to each of them?
Yes.
Jesus.
Then I destroy target permanent and opponent controls.
What?
Yeah,
Jeez.
this is the last. This is the last one. The last one. This is so stupid, but I'm doing it.
Oh God, I know what you're doing.
I'm destroying the Forest Walk Elf after all
It's the only way I could get through to you if I made it. Right?
That's
Oh my
That's
goodness.
very funny.
The one threat to me is a freaking 1/1.
1/1
1/1.
elf. How's that feel?
All right,
Feels
it's time.
great for me.
So it's time to resolve 4 untapped triggers targeting the Bloom Tender. So I'm going to use Bloom Tender in response to 3 of them to float 15 mana, and then I have an untapped Bloom Tender.
2
So-
untapped
2
Bloom
on
Tenders total?
2 untapped, a copy, yeah, the
Yeah.
first Bloom Tender is
Yeah.
what got targeted
Yeah.
because it was before the
Yeah.
copy was made.
Yeah.
So that takes me up to 18 black mana as I exit combat.
Okay.
I'm not done.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. We know.
All right, tap this for Wooburg and spend 5 of the black mana, going down to 13. I'm going to cast Zakama, Primal Calamity.
does that untap your stinking
Yes,
lands?
it does.
Yes, it does. So
God.
it enters the battlefield. I cast it. I untap all lands I control.
Jesus.
CGB, you built a Rue Goldberg machine somehow.
Yeah, he literally
That's
did.
crazy.
I make a treasure from Widespread Thieving. I will use 4 of the mana, and then I need 3 white. 4 of the black mana, 3 white. And I'm going to cast, where'd it go? Emiria's Call. I'm going to make 2 4/4 white Angel Warrior creature tokens with flying, and all my creatures gain indestructible until my next turn. And I draw for Whirlwind of Thought. All right, I'm going to use 2 green and the mana in the mana pool, and we're going to cast the Seedborn Muse. I will tap these and go down to 5 black, cast the Sultai Ascendancy you know about. That makes a treasure and draws a card. I will move to my end step. I will float 2 mana. I will pass the turn to convert it to black, and I actually will tap the Bloom Tender as well to also convert that to black. So that will be another 7 black when the turn ends and I convert it. I also have to discard a hand size, so I'm going to figure that out for a minute. All right, end step, I'm going to discard a whole bunch of silly cards, and I'm going to pass the turn to Shea, going up to 12 black mana in the mana pool, and untap with Shea. Yay!
Shay, you gonna have a cooler turn than that?
Oh, yeah.
Show 'em what's up, Shay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Let them know.
I'm untapping, draw for turn. We'll start by paying 3 for Herald's Horn. Gonna name elementals as a creature
Nice,
type.
Okay.
They cost 1 less to cast.
I will draw a card with Esper Sentinel.
Yes. We're gonna pay 3. It's time for
Let's go.
an Omnath.
Yep.
Ba-ba-da-ba.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, so when he enters, it deals damage to any target equal to the number of elementals you control. I feel.
What's the target?
Is that number 4?
It is.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. I
I
think.
think we should go CGB's face.
Really?
You think?
Oh, I guess you could kill Seaboard Muse. Never mind.
Yeah.
I lied to you. Well, the problem with killing Seaboard Muse is he untaps, he wins, right? If he gets back to his turn, he wins. Is what I mean.
I'd hope.
They're very unlikely that him not win. So he's already got all his mana up. Killing Seaboard Muse only gives him a little less black mana. I think we need to try to just like burn him down. I think personally, I think that's our highest leverage play. But I don't know. That's just my thought.
I can definitely see where you're coming from with that.
Because keep in mind, I actually have burn, right? Each one of these elementals,
Right.
when it dies,
That's a
is
good point.
3 burns.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Field the Locus of the Royal, CGB. This is going to be 4 damage to your face.
To my face.
To your face.
Royal,
I will take 4. I will take 4 and go down to 29.
To 29. Okay, it'd be cool if I had a land, but I don't. And I'm just going to chill. It's your turn, Blake.
Sorry, buddy.
End step.
Naughty.
I am going to float some mana.
Real.
Actually, no. So I'm going to spend 15 mana, and I'm going to activate Zakama 5 times to gain 15 life.
Shay, I think that puts him more out of reach.
Yeah.
I forgot about Sakama.
I did too.
I mean,
He just has so much stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So that costs 15, and then I'm also going to float 4 more that I plan to convert to black. And proceed.
All right, my turn. Mana converts to black. I will untap.
I will untap with you.
Aw, I will draw for turn. All right, well, we're going to go for it. It ain't going to work.
But we can try.
Oh, we sure can, dude. I'm going to spend 6 mana. I'm going to cast a Geode Rager. So this is a 4/3 first strike with landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control, goad each creature target player controls.
What?
Yep.
Goad? That's not good for them.
No, it's not.
You guys shouldn't like this.
Blake.
You guys should not like
What
this.
about the Seaborn Muse, bro?
What's the toughness on that thing?
Dude, I don't know what to tell you. It's a 4/3.
It's a 4/3?
Gets void rendered pretty easily.
When it enters the battlefield, there's no triggers right now, though, are there?
No.
Ooh. Okay. And is it an elemental? It is.
It is.
It is.
Does that resolve?
It does.
Well, I'm going to play a Spire Garden.
Okay, that's a trigger.
I have thought long and hard about Geode Rager, and I think I'm going to target you with it, CGB.
Okay. Wow, guys, he just abandoned you.
I did, immediately.
With that trigger and the
and
make
the
an
Omnath,
elemental trigger on the stack, I have 2 responses. I am going to cast Bant Charm, and I'm going to target your commander, Blake. Put target creature on the bottom of its owner's library. You can still put it to the command zone.
I will choose to put it in the command zone.
Okay. This also created another treasure, and I draw a card for Whirlwind of Thought. With that trigger still on the stack, but that Omnath off the battlefield, I'm going to spend 3 mana, and Zakama Primal Calamity is going to deal 3 damage to that goatee thingy majiggy.
Fair enough.
But my creatures will be goated, which might spare you for a minute.
So this was the cool play I was going to make. I'm just going to make it anyway. CGB is going to murder us in short order. So I want to just show off what I was excited to do. I was going to play Azusa. All right, so Azusa on the battlefield. If that had resolved with my Geode Rager out, I could goad all of you guys, and with Living Twister return lands in my hand, so you guys would be goaded for the rest of the game, basically, until you killed one of my things. Unfortunately, not gonna happen. Yeah. I'm gonna play 2 more lands.
But there's no triggers.
Thanks, CGB.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, none at all.
And then I am going to move to combat.
Yeah. Come on over, buddy. Come on, dude, come at me.
Do it anyway.
Who put all those cards on your freaking board? I'm just gonna pass. I have a turn.
All right. On the end step, I will gain 6 more life. Then I will gain 6 more life. And I will float 7 mana that I plan to convert to black. So proceed.
Well, I'll untap.
I will untap with you.
Oh, how lovely. I'll scry. Don't get to do that, do you?
Let them know.
Got me.
Get dunked on, CGB.
I'm gonna blow up that bestiary then. You know what, Ben?
What?
I am. After you resolve that scry, I'm gonna blow up that bestiary.
It will stay on top.
With Zakama Primal Calamity. Kaboom.
Okay.
Petty.
That's what I do.
I'll float 9 into my pool.
Oh, real quick, I do actually have 1 more token. I played my first land that triggered the Geode Rager. Yep.
You right.
We'll go to combat.
You will double your power and toughness.
Yep. I'm gonna swing at you, CGB, with both creatures.
Wow.
An 8-12 and a 20-20.
An 8-12 and a 20-20,
Yep.
huh?
Get him, Ben.
Let him know. All right, then in that case, I will cast, let's see, go to 14. I will Void Rend your commander. Destroy target non-land permanent. This can't be countered. This will make a treasure, and I'll draw a card for Whirlwind of Thought.
In response to the Void Rend,
Yes.
I'll spend 2 mana to heroically intervene.
I see.
Mess him up then.
That is a very interesting, clever play.
Yes, yeah.
You're trying to mess with me. You can't pay for the Esper Sentinel, so I'll draw a card.
Correct. Yeah.
Then I will make you an offer you can't refuse and counter heroic intervention.
Bummer.
But you do get 2 treasure tokens, Ben.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now, it does say, like, can't be countered, but it actually doesn't, like, the can't be countered thing doesn't matter with heroic intervention because they gain indestructible. So I still have to make the offer. So I countered your heroic intervention, Ben, so I destroyed your commander.
Yes.
Unless he has something else.
I do not.
So you're not even putting it in the command zone, huh?
Oh. Well, I mean.
All hope is lost.
Yeah, that's truly what that means.
Tell you what, since I don't like triggers, I will block the 8-12 with the Risen Reef.
Nice.
Disrespectful.
Wow.
Poor Shea.
Or Risen
Poor Shea.
I'll let that die.
And then it's your turn, CGB.
Okay, on end step, I will use mana from Zakama and the black mana in the mana pool, and 2 red, and I will deal 3 damage to Shea's commander and the Smoke Braider.
Okay. They're dead.
I'll make mana with the Bloom Tender. I will spend it to use the comma 2 more times to kill off the other 2 elementals.
They're dead.
And I will use the other mana to gain 3 life, and then float 4 mana for black mana, moving through steps and phases. Go to my turn, untap all these things. At the beginning of my upkeep, I will trigger Sultai Ascendancy. All right, in this order. I will draw for turn. I will use Omnath's ability to reveal this Sultai charm and put it into my hand. I will add 3 blue mana to the mana pool. All right, I'm going to use 3 of the mana in this mana pool. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to use white, green, and red. And I'm going to play a 2-headed Hellkite of Flying Menace haste when it attacks, draw 2 cards. I will make another treasure. Then I will spend Wooburg to activate Widespread Thieving, and I will cast from exile the Chromatic Ori. And I will draw a card for Whirlwind of Thought.
Wow. Okay.
Popping off.
Yeah, this is so sick.
I'll play a command tower as my land for turn, which will put a counter over here on the Omnath Locus of All, and I'll draw a card from the Locus of Royal. All right, time to move to combat. I believe you're both open or super close to open.
Yep.
So I'm going to try to count out 27 here. So for Ben, I've got 7, 12, 15, 19. I think you'd love to get hit by a dinosaur just knowing you. So
of course.
there's 28 for you.
Especially as a combo.
For Shea, I've got 7, then 9, then 13, then whatever this is, 7. That is 20. Then this is 30. And this Bloom Tender, why not? This is 31. And here they come. They're all attacking you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm dead.
I'm really freaking dead.
I will get 7 life from Atraxa. I'm going to just target all the stuff that attacked to untap it with the Duretti. And I'm also going to go ahead and untap this Savannah as well. I'm going to cast a Soul Ring. I'm going to discard 2 cards to hand size, passing the turn to Blake. I'm not even going to float the mana. Blake, what you got? Your turn.
Dude, you're going to be so surprised.
I'll untap with you.
That's not surprising. I will untap and draw for turn. Shit. I don't think I can win. You know what? I'm going to play my commander. We're just going to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, that results.
Might as well, right?
Why not?
Play a forest, make a token.
Okay.
I have 4 with not summoning sickness and 1 with.
Yep.
I will use Living Twister to return a land, replay it, do it again, make 2 more tokens.
Okay.
CGB,
Yo.
I'll meet you on the fields of battle.
Really? You're going to make me figure out how to block?
You can also take it.
Yeah, that's
Old Captain 66 plus a million.
When you go down swinging, it's going to be like that?
Just take it, dude.
How much is it?
22, 23.
Are you trapping me? Yeah, I'll take your 23. Hopefully it makes you feel better.
It made it like a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Also just makes the math easier.
All right, I'm at 43 with a Zakama and a billion mana.
I will pass the turn.
I'll gain it all back.
Yes.
Can we just skip to the part where I attack you
I
and
wanted
everything?
you to attack me. Ouch. That's a big ouch. That is really rough.
Wow.
GG, CGB.
Yeah.
Holy guacamole,
What
dude.
the heck,
That
man?
was so sick.
I am the ultimate Omnath.
Oh my god.
Goodness Lord. Gonna clean up this board state and find our CoolStuffInc.com card of the game. All right, we found our CoolStuffInc.com card of the game, and I will go first as the Omnathiest Omnath of them all. My card of the game goes to Whirlwind of Thought. I could give it to Seedborn Muse, but that's boring. We know about Seedborn Muse. But Whirlwind of Thought was straight up gasoline.
Seemed very good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I felt like I was just going through the deck so fast. It felt actually cleaner than Rhystic Study because I still cast so many spells and I was just drawing so many cards. So for me, Whirlwind of Thought. Shea, do you have a coolstuffing.com card of the game?
I sure do. My card of the game is Omnath, Locus of the Royal, but not my copy of Omnath, CGB's copy that he got to play, because it did a lot for you, a lot more for you than mine did for me, sadly.
Drew a lot of cards,
Yes.
got a lot of landfall triggers, dished out some more commander damage. I gotta say, your commander is sweet. I feel kind of bad that I drew a lot more cards off it than you got to.
Hey, it's all right.
All right, Blake, what is your card of the game?
Well, my coolstuffing.com card of the game is your Maelstrom Wanderer. Card was great. I mean, the first hit was medium. You know, the what was it, Fierce Guardianship?
Medium?
But, it was terrible. It was terrible. I was trying to be nice. But, you know, the Turn Dipper Symbiosis was great until it didn't hit anything.
Actually, I drew the Atraxa off the Whirlwind of Thought trigger and then whiffed on the Turn Timber
Oh my
Symbiosis.
gosh.
And that was probably the worst Maelstrom Wanderer ever, and
Of all time.
still
Dumpstered us. So your Maelstrom Wanderer is my card of the game.
yeah, way to go. Good
Thanks.
as tasty.
I had to
creature.
choose the trolley one because, you know.
It was like 8 mana Urabrask, and it was still good.
Yes.
Okay, my card of the game is a card that is dear to my heart. It's a dinosaur. I didn't play it though. It was Zakama. We thought CGB was done with his turn, and then boom, Zakama, untap all lands. He's still going. Ridiculous.
He wouldn't stop. It just
No,
kept happening.
yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. As a control mage, I know in my heart that the real joy is getting to take more game actions per game, not necessarily winning the game. So my heart is full on this day. And to you, the viewer who's still here, you're sick. I love you.
We all do.
You actually
We all
sat
do.
through that? Wow. You're like as disgusting as me. And you know, that's why you're cool. That's why we say it in every single video. And honestly, thank you to my friends for putting up with my shenanigans
It was great.
as well. Being the Omnathiest Omnath involves some rather disgusting shit. And that
I think the only thing better than popping off is watching your friend pop off. Like, it's cool. So,
well,
good
thanks,
dude.
guys. Thank you, guys. And as the Omnathiest locus of all, thank you for watching this. You stayed till the end. That's the #1 best thing that you can do for the channel. Now, top it off, hit like, hit subscribe, and shop on coolstuffing.com. Use the promo code WORST. And on behalf of everybody here at the Worst Possible Commander Show, you're cool.